My name is Mike Furey. I'm the Chief Administrative Officer at the Municipality. I'd like to welcome everyone for coming out this evening to our Community Vision session. We know you have lots happening, and we ask for quite a bit of your time recently. Over the last year, we've had a number of open houses. So thank you again for coming out. So this is the kickoff of our Community Vision and OCP updating process. We're starting right now, and this will continue on until July of this year. As you all know, the Community Vision and our OCP are really the fundamental documents for our community and give us direction and set the overall sort of a base policy parameters for council and the community as we move forward. Tonight's event is focused on the community vision, and we're here to get your input to the vision process. And in a moment, I'll walk through how we are trying to achieve that. There is going to be another event in early May, which will be on the updating of the official community plan itself. So in addition to the materials that you're hopefully had a chance to look at tonight, and we're going to have some table discussions. There is a lot of information online, and this will be explained in a little more detail, and we really encourage people to go online and respond and provide your input there. So, I always find when I go to these things, I like to know what's happening and how the evening is going to proceed rather than waiting for the next thing to pop up. So we've had from about 4 o'clock onward the sort of poster input session. I see lots of stickies over there and lots of colored dots, which is awesome to get all of that feedback. And we'll be taking all of that into our visioning planning. There's going to be a series of presentations now, about 5 minutes each. For a number of folks, and I'll run through who they are in a moment. Then we're going to have a great session, which is some of you may have participated in recently with I think the Chamber had a session where using your smartphones we can get some direct and immediate participation from the audience on providing input to a number of the vision statements. And then after we've done that, we'll have a table input session. And that will be an opportunity for sort of breakout groups, and we'll have a full explanation of how that's going to work after we get through the presentations and the smartphone. One of the folks, Ted Battison from the municipality, will come up and explain how that's going to work. And then some quick closing remarks at the end. So just to quickly run through some of our speakers, starting off with the Mayor, Nancy Wilhelm-Morden, will open and talk about the importance of the vision. Will then be followed by Drew Meredith. We wanted to get someone who had a depth of knowledge and experience and background in the community, and who better than Drew, who was mayor from 1986 to 89, and a longtime resident. And then we're going to move into presentations from a number of community leaders. Karen Goodwin, who many of you will know is the Vice President of Destination and Market Development with Tourism Whistler. Karen is going to talk about the future and economic trends for the resort. Cheryl Skribe is then going to follow Karen. And Cheryl is the Executive Director of the Whistler Community Services Society. Cheryl will talk about the trends that we're facing in terms of health and well-being of the community members. Then Ruddy will come and present on behalf of Aware. Claire is the Executive Director and will address environmental change and the climate change trends and challenges. Then Pete Sonntag is going to join us this evening. Pete is the Senior Vice President and Chief Operating Officer for Whistler Blackcomb, who will speak to some of the trends relating to destination ski resorts, WB's direction for the future, and the importance of their epic promise. And then finally, as we're looking to the future, we also want to include the young people who are the future of our community. So Lauren Han, who's right here, is 12 years old. She will read a letter that was released in the Peak, the local newspaper, in December about what Whistler might look like in 2066. And this letter was written by 13-year-old Isabel Elliott, who's unable to be here tonight, but Lauren is going to come up and share all of that with the community. So thank you very much in advance, Lauren, for doing that. So one other quick reminder, there is some food here for folks. It's a bit of a long evening. There's some quesadillas and other foods available. You might want to stock up after the presentations, but right before we have the round tables. The food does have a bit of a shelf life on it, and so after about 7, the Tourism Whistler friends here will be taking that away. So it's asked to pass that on to you. So without further ado, I'm going to ask Mayor Nancy to come up. And once Mayor Nancy is done, we're just going to roll right into the presentations. So Drew, you can come on right up after Nancy. Mayor Nancy.